Right, hello, good morning. So things are really ramping up. Like having just environments, and there's so many different use cases. And of course, running in the cloud, it's not perfectly the same as a computer locally. Mm, so we need to do a lot of support, I'm noticing, but it's a good thing. We learn a lot about what people are using the SDK for. But at the same time, it feels a little bit overwhelming at this point. But I guess that's a good sign as well. If you release something and it feels overwhelming, it means that people are using it and are excited about it and really wants it to work for them. So that's good. But we're going to do something this morning, which is to try to set up a template that actually has a repo cloned inside of it. So we're going to do new folder, repo, and then we're also going to make it run with bun. So we're going to check that out. And I think that's it. That's basically it. So we're in test template repo. So I'm going to clone something here. Let's see. I have repos to clone. Let's clone Mobex slide. Let's see. Git clone. Can I just do dot here? And now I have a Git folder here. So the point is to create a template that runs bun and has a nested repo in it. Yeah. So let's see. Yes, and then we need dot dev container.json, and I think we have CodeSandbox.io. I think we have a bun template. Create bun. Yeah. Let's check this one out. I was playing Roadcraft yesterday with a couple of friends. Oh my god, that game is amazing. It's been a dream of mine. I remember being a kid playing with, like, in the sandbox outside, like creating roads and kind of imagining like big trucks and stuff. And then I've been playing SnowRunner on my own for a while, which is just, they completely nailed the visuals and the physics. But yeah, I've been playing it alone, and then I got a couple of friends to try Roadcraft with me, and OMG. Oh, it's .dev container. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know that. And it's just amazing. We're up way too late, and let's see. So we're gonna do dev container, new file, Docker, and then I guess we want to have Docker file. From workspace. Okay, I don't think this is like super well. This is the challenging thing, is like if you want to run bun locally, you just install it, right? But that's not the case for these sandboxes, or it can be. I think we should discuss that because it's not very accessible to set up like bun, for example, if you have to do this kind of thing. But yeah, anyways. Let's see. So, and then we have tasks.json, that's fine. And then we have a cloned repo in there. Cool. Okay, so this is our template. So we're gonna try to deploy this now, and then we're gonna what are we gonna do? We're gonna Yeah, no, I think we're just going to build it, and then we're just going to jump into one of the sandboxes. Let's see. npm. I guess this is the latest build, but yeah. Okay, bin. Something is trying to get my attention. Is it here? Oh. Let's see. Okay, sorry. So this will be this bin CodeSandbox, and we want to build our template, test template. Oh. So this probably takes quite a bit of time. Restarting. Yeah, I'm gonna share that image. There's something happening on EU0. We talked about actually let's see. Yeah, but anyways, we just wanted to get something running. So let's see here. So we have everything here. I wonder, did pnpm install? I'm not sure if we actually have pnpm here now. Should probably make this a bit more realistic. Oh. pnpm. We do have pnpm. It is dev container. Shouldn't I have bun here? Wait, did I do this correctly? Dev container.json. This seems weird. I need to open this in a different tab. Okay, I guess I need to fork this. I don't, yeah. Like, why give a thumbs down? Come on. Like, it's so unnecessary. Oh my God, people. This one has bun, but this one doesn't have bun. Why doesn't it have bun? That's weird. Okay, what happens if I restart this devbox now? Did I do something wrong with the folders? .dev container JSON, Docker file. Let's see. They did restart a little bit too fast, I think. It should take some time to get that dev container running. Oh, look at this. Setup failed. Oh yeah, PM. Yeah, but that's true. Okay, I'm gonna change the template so that it actually reflects something more real. So we're not gonna have setup tasks. We're not gonna have dev tasks either. Let's see. Oh yeah, so it actually did fail. Oh, but that's interesting. Wait a minute. Is it the actual builder? Why did these work? There's something fishy going on here. I'm gonna check this one. It's almost like it didn't restart. Wait a minute. New sandbox. It's running through all of this. Restarting sandbox. That's really weird. That's really weird. What about this other one? So this one isn't properly set up either. Right, this doesn't have been either. No, okay, but it does have PM. Okay, so there's something fishy going on here. Okay, so when it, but how is that possible? So it's restarting, and it is restarting that specific sandbox ID. But why doesn't it have, and it does have all the files? How can that be? There is something fishy going on because we're what the hell could that be? Starting sandbox. But we did write all the files, but then when we restart, it doesn't run the setup tasks. I am confused. I am confused. Whoa, what's happening here? Thinking. Why did it work on one of them and not the others? By the way, I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream these debugging sessions because they can be quite boring. So maybe I should rather stream when I do bug fixes. But anyways, here we are. Why doesn't this? Ah, it's so buggy. What could that be? So it's not even that it's like okay, I'm gonna check something. So this is running picture 3678, and the one that failed. Which one is that running? Three, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is super weird. Found something really weird. When I deploy templates using dev container setup, only EU0 sets up the dev container. It does nothing in which what are the clusters? US1, US3. For example, I set up bun dev docker file. It works on EU0, but D2 does not set up the dev container. I think maybe this is, I think maybe now EU0 is the one actually behaving, but the others are not. I don't think I can do anything about this. But what's interesting is if I do restart the others, then they work. But if I restart the sandboxes that was created, they do set up the dev container. It is super weird. Yeah, okay. So I wonder, we're gonna make one change here. So we're just gonna do, when we, let's see. So when we do this, what we're gonna do, await sandbox setup. Oh, sorry. Await session dot setup wait until complete. Oh, sorry. Waiting for setup to complete. Okay. npm. So this is completely unpredictable, which is not good. So it doesn't seem like it's actually restarting or something. Snapshot created. Terminal. No button. What? So what could that be? It's almost like, but the files are there. This has to be an infra thing. So what I'm just gonna see if I can make it work, like get some indication. Get some indication about what's wrong here. So we're writing all these files. So what we could do is that okay, you want okay, let's take a look at running setup step. Okay, so we're just gonna, I'm gonna do something here. Log sandbox.id. How are we gonna do this? Yeah, sorry. We're just gonna steps, wait until, and then we're just gonna return sandbox.id. Let's see. I want to see what these steps are. Maybe we can detect it on the steps. Just so we can actually fix it. Running setup 1 of 1. But the other one has, what is that setup step? Starting contain, oh, it also has 1 of 1. Starting containers. Maybe there's a bug here where we okay, let's look at the command. And I also want to look at step.open. Yeah, let's see here. We're actually, wait, what happened? Oh, we're gonna do some more stuff here. Wait until complete. But that's just the step. So what, yeah, sorry. So what we're gonna do here. Yeah, let's just console log. So this is a buffer Yeah, but this is only used if buffer join. I want to look at the actual output here. How can we do that efficiently? Because the buffer is part of the step. Okay, let's just do, let's just shove it into the spinner. Step command, and then let's do the buffer join. Yeah, let's just do it on one line. Okay, let's see what happens now. Restarting. Oh. Success. Okay, this wasn't the greatest output. How are we going to do this? I need to dump. Okay, we need to change the code there. This doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Well, there is only one step. So, but let's put all the, let's see. Const buffers. And then we're gonna buffers push. Buffer. And then how are we gonna do this? We need to log per. You know what? We're just gonna write to a file here. Write file. Debug sandbox id.log. Yeah. I guess this writes to the root folder. Is this a promise thing? Yeah. Okay, let's try this. We need to see the difference in these files. Oh, I didn't build it. So we want to compare one of them to 8FMS. Okay, so it's running. Let's see if it's running the same command. So here we have the logs. Yeah, it's running the same thing. Let's see until we get the file here. There we go. So 8 FM. Ugh. Oh, look at this. But you know, let's see. Could you please compare the two debug files, debug 8fms3n.log and debug 4wd32d.log, and tell me why 4wd 32d.log. Tell me why it's not working. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's see what it says. This is a hostname resolution error. I checked the logs. There is a hostname resolution. US1 and US3. With the container versions as shown by the it starts the dev container successfully, but there is a network configuration issue. Okay, I guess this is the actual problem. But outcome success? That's weird. That's definitely not a success outcome. How am I gonna pass information? Just 2 seconds. I just need to paste this on Slack. I'm gonna be a little bit careful with Slack so I don't Okay, so it gives a success, but it wasn't actually, so that shouldn't have been a success. Unable to resolve hosts. But again, if I restart once more, it works. PC. Oh, but this one? I'm a little bit overwhelmed today. There's a lot of stuff going on. Supporting the SDK. There's so many use cases, and we're setting up new infra, but it's like the way it should be when you have market fit with something. But it's a little bit stressful. But this PC35M, I believe this is actually, let's see, I'm just gonna jump back here so you can see what I'm doing. Let's see, PC, it's not its own hostname, it's the, let's see, not here, but where is the default? How are you doing today? Let's see. Yeah, it's looking up is the sandbox ID of our default template. I guess it is not available. I think we should deploy. I think we should deploy the universal template using the SDK. And start using the template tag instead inside the SDK. Okay, I'm going to try that. So the point is that we have this internal mechanism where we deploy the same sandbox to multiple clusters. And it's not really how we want the SDK to work. Now that we have template tags, what we're actually going to do is we're going to go to the CodeSandbox, GitHub. We're going to go to the sandbox templates, sandbox templates. We're going to clone this, and then we're going to actually deploy. Let's see. Let's do this, cd dev, git clone. And then we're going to actually publish. Thanks for the support and acknowledgement. It's very interesting how I talked to a friend yesterday who had a rough time at work. He had to step outside work life for a few weeks, recovering, and then kind of getting back into work, but doing a bit like less stressful, maybe a bit mundane tasks. But then he told me, just not like consciously, but he like had a comment that, and there's this guy that constantly comes in and checks on me and like asks how I'm doing, and I told him, like, made him conscious about that, like, but that's what you need. Like, you need acknowledgement for what you're doing, especially when it's overwhelming. It's like there's this dynamics of recognition and stress. You can handle a lot more stress if you get acknowledgement for dealing with it. But if you don't get acknowledgement, or worst case, someone like just gets upset, like is negative towards you, then you handle the stress even less. So acknowledgement is a powerful social mechanism. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how, like, I guess all what's it called? Different types of businesses and domains, they have their terminology, which they could have put in layman terms. Yeah, it's so interesting how companies treat people like resources, like, and it's so like it's so funny to me how bad we feel when we're not encouraging to the AI, when we kind of just demand stuff from AI. It feels awkward, right? But at work, we have people that are like super demanding to actual humans, and like has no like humility, and it's very interesting. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna get this thing running. So what we want to do here, we basically just want to run the, oh, let's open the development CodeSandbox SDK. No, CodeSandbox templates. Oh, sandbox templates. Okay. So let's see, sandbox templates, and what are we doing? We need to have an end file because I need my special key. So then I have to take you off here just for a second. Let's see, let's copy the end file, copy. Just want to make sure I don't mess up. It's so boring to just go in and constantly having to Let's see. Not shell, not docs, not this. Oh, I have too much going on at the same time. There we are, Sandbox templates, paste. Yeah, because it opens the file, which is exactly what I don't want it to. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we are going to, yeah, it's mostly TypeScript. Yep. But it's like, it's not like, the interesting thing about JavaScript and TypeScript is that it's a language that goes across the stack. So you can write it in any kinds of applications, while certain languages are very confined to a very specific type of application. So for example, Elixir is very much bound to APIs, API applications, and like services. But you can also write APIs and services in TypeScript, but you can also write client applications, right? So it's kind of like all over the place, which is why it's nice to learn, because you can expose yourself to different kinds of application development, different types of paradigms. Like you can do all kinds of programming paradigms in JavaScript, object-oriented, functional, all of this stuff. While other languages are kind of embracing a certain way of doing things, which is good. But again, that's why JavaScript is a good entry language, because you're exposed to so many things. Let's see. What we want to do now, I just want to run CodeSandbox SDK build, and we're going to do universal template. Oh, /universal. Yes. Oh. And what's going to happen now is that we're actually going to deploy actual sandboxes. And then we're going to go in here and we're actually going to open these ones. We're going to restart them so they are in their correct states. Wait, what happened? Oh, sorry. That they are in their correct states. And then, so we're going to restart this one. We're going to do the same with this one. Because we actually want to run the SDK on all our templates, but the universal one is really important because it's the default template that we use. Which one was... Wait, which one did I open? Yeah, I guess that one. We're going to restart this one. Yeah, that was the other one, right? Yeah, exactly. So we're going to restart those two. Then we're going to hibernate them. This is fine. We go in, we hibernate them, which is going to make them into snapshots. And then we're going to start using this thing instead for the SDK. Let's see. So this is going to be interesting. So now we should see that this actually... Oh, what the... Oh no, I did a boo-boo with the comments. It's taking up my whole screen. Ah! Oh, there we go. There we go. Where is global scheduler? We don't need to look at that. Definitely not this one. Shell SDK, we don't need picture. And then CodeSandbox SDK, and we're going to change that into our thing. And yeah, okay, cool. So this is going to be interesting. So now we're going to try to run this stuff again. Git status. we're gonna reset, or I guess checkout is the way you do it. Bin command build.ts. And then we're gonna build this, and then we're gonna try to deploy again. Okay, so this is what I did. Checked out sandbox templates, ran, built and deployed the universal template, restarted using SDK, restarted restarted the sandboxes, restarted and hibernated the sandboxes in US1 and US3. Put the template tag in the SDK as the default template. Let's see if this runs better now. Okay, test template. I'm very curious about this. So this should behave the same now. And when we visit one of them, they should have look at that. Well, so that's US3. Okay, let's look at this one. But this, at least this one is behaving. Does this one actually have... What it looks like to me is that it doesn't persist. Like it hasn't like... I think something's going wrong in the... Okay, but this is going to be interesting because what we can do now is... There's something going wrong with the snapshot, I think. Because if we wake up this one... Oh, sorry, not wake up, but look at this one. This one should have been now. Oh, it's really important that we get this right, because this is going to be... No, this one doesn't have bun either. What the fuck is going on here? But this one has bun. But what I see is that you see that these files, they are persisted. Yeah, okay. But it did not actually help. We still have the same problem. But what I see is that when I open the sandboxes built for US1 and US3, their files are not committed. I see Git changes as opposed to opening up the one in EU0, where everything has been committed. So I think that's the problem. But what I want to check now is I want to check these ones. So for example, does this one actually have... Yeah. So this one's actually running correctly. Okay, so I'm gonna try something. Let's hibernate this one again. So what we're gonna do is, this is fine to make this change. But when we build, we have to make sure that it actually persists. So when we restart, I think we should hibernate them first, because that's gonna make it right. Yeah. So first we're gonna await SDK sandboxes, hibernate. That's gonna trigger the persistence. We need to persist first to commit file changes. It's so weird that it works in the other cluster though, consistently even. But this is going to be interesting. Yeah, I have some thoughts on that. Let me just check this one, and I can share some. Let's see. Yeah, so AI is definitely going to change how engineers work, but in a good way, in my opinion. Because being an engineer is not about writing code, it's about solving problems and finding solutions. And that's where it's a mindset, right? And oh, now EU0 was suddenly faster. That's interesting. So we're just going to spend a lot more time doing that. We're just not going to code. Like, the thing is like, oh, bad gateway. Oh. And then I tried to hibernate so to try to fix this, I try to hibernate before I restart during build. But then I get a bad gateway error. On US1 and US3. Yeah, there's definitely a problem with the clusters. You know what we're gonna do to fix this for now? We're gonna restart, and then we're gonna look at the setup steps. And if the setup step, the first setup step, has this error in it, it's really, really weird that it doesn't show it as an error, but it shows it as a success. I am for now just going to detect the error and do another restart to fix the issue. But this looks like deeper problem to me. Codex or Coder, or like GitHub has Like when you can actually like just go to GitHub, go to your repo, and just communicate with an agent there, and the agent works with your repo. And you can just like, it will suggest changes, you can just click through it. That's where that 20% is going to increase. But we're not there yet. But for now, it's like we're kind of we're the primary force of programming still. But I think that's going to flip at some point, where the agent becomes the primary force of programming, and then we are going to be the assistant instead, and guide it to what it's supposed to do, and of course evaluate its output. But that's going to be, for me, that's going to be amazing. Like, even though it's like working on an old car, right? Like, even though you have electric cars now and soon self-driving cars, like, you still want to go back and like work on an old car, right? Just because it makes you feel good. Just like programming makes me feel good. But it's not the programming that is my profession. My profession is being able to identify issues, coming up with ideas on how to solve them, talking to people, creating value. Like, these AIs doesn't know what value is necessarily, unless they're actually able to talk to your customers. Well, I don't think the problems will get more challenging, but we can solve bigger problems. Because like, again, like, the human mind is very constrained compared to an AI. So it's just very, very difficult to solve big, complex problems. Just the sheer scale of the problem and the amount of data, really. And we're already struggling, I think, as humans. So yeah. So we already have huge ass problems that's too challenging for us, like in medicine, climate, even technology, like space travel. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we aren't able to tackle, but we will be able to tackle that with the help of AI, which is going to be very, very interesting to observe the next few years. Well, I actually disagree on that. Like, it's like, so for me, that statement is like, ChatGPT can only give you the articles that has already been written. Well, no, I guess I understand what you mean. It's like, it's a higher abstraction. But I don't think that's the case. I think that's going to be the thing that's going to blow our minds the most. So for example, when they have these benchmarks on reasoning, this is what they're testing. Like, are they able to solve novel problems they haven't been trained on? And they are already doing this. And that transfers to programming as well. But yeah, they're much better at solving things that's already been solved. But that is supposed to be the emerging capability of them, is that they're actually able to solve novel problems. Hi again, thanks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just gonna be, so just like horses and buggy to car made us more efficient in transport, AI is gonna make us more efficient in solving problems. Let's see. What were we doing here? We wanted to identify this thingy where we have, I think we can just check on it for now. Resolving remote. Wait, was that the one? Oh, wait, did we write? Oh, I think we, oh, here we have it. Unable to resolve host. Yeah, but I guess we got some, oh, for fuck's sake. I think we got some new issues now as we're using the, disposable store. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna have this buffer thing, and we're gonna let's see, buffers. We're gonna push. Sorry, we're not gonna do that. Sandbox.id. We're gonna do wait fs write file. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. npm. To look similar. They actually struggle giving you the correct answer for the correct version and specific. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to see the whole thing. That's a fascinating person. Tim Sweeney. It's the Epic founder, right? But yeah, it's very interesting, like, because we're still just dealing with language, right? Kind of the ingredient of reasoning is language. And it seems that reasoning is more fundamental than language. That's our intuition, right? We just use language to convey our reasoning. It isn't the reasoning. But that's the big like philosophical reflection here. Is like, are our brains just highly efficient prediction machines? And reasoning is actually like AI. It's just us predicting the next I won't say word, but we're predicting the next thing, like the next whatever you want to call or encapsulate, like what we predict as humans. Like, it's more complex than a word, right? But we're still just predicting. And is that what we call reasoning? And is then creativity the same thing as creativity and an AI, where you make it broader, the range of predictions you can make, which is what leads to creativity. Is very, very interesting. Yeah, determinism of games, programs versus AI. Yeah, could come up with something different every time. Let's see. Let's run this. Let's look at the logs. We did remove the hibernation step. No, we didn't. Oh. Yeah, we have the CLI running. And I was hoping to actually vibe code on that a little bit next to fixing a couple of things. But yeah, this is requiring all my mental effort. We have to fix this. Yeah, like what you're going to be seeing now in the AI world is that we're moving away from prompting. Like we actually guide the AIs through prompting, and they're just going to give us suggestions on their context. And then we're going to start just clicking through things. And that's constantly how it works. So it's more, we're already flipping how things work. It's the AI that already has all the context it needs, and it's going to help us like it's going to kind of guide us, but we're making the decisions. But we're just going to be clicking these suggestions as opposed to actually writing to it. So you see that with OpenAI Codex. I have a friend who's doing a startup. Everything is about like giving suggestions, allowing the user to just click through to get to where they want. It's really, really cool. Okay, so what happened here now? Oh, we got some new. So this is the one that's correct. Sec 6. Where is it? This one? This one's correct. Runs the way it should. And then we have WK. That's the one that's not correct. What does it say? Oh, but this one is correct. But it still didn't work. Wait, that's weird. That's weird. Yeah, and exactly. And this is what we're gonna see. It's like there's always gonna be these people that like, oh, I hate these electric cars, self-driving cars. Who wants to have a self-driving car? I need to be in control. It's the exact same thing that's happening with this technology. Like everyone can relate to letting a car drive for you. A lot of people just love driving, but then there's the safety issue. Like it's such a good analogy. But in a few years, no one is gonna ride a car, or drive a car. It's gonna be self-driving everything, and there's gonna be far less cars on the road, just like horses. It's gonna be a hobby to drive a car. You go special places to drive a car, just like you go special places to ride a horse. It's gonna be exactly the same, and it's just how the world works, or like progress works. Terminal. So this doesn't actually run bun. Okay, so this is interesting. So this has a success, but it still doesn't do. Okay, but now we're gonna ask the AI again. Could you compare the log of debug ffp6dk, which starts up correctly, and debug nkw2k, which does not start up correctly? What do you see the difference? Like this is perfect for AI. Like I don't understand these logs. I can just ask it. um, do you drive or fly planes? We fly planes. Yeah. Do you drive planes in Australia? I actually think the I also had this analogy with cars and consciousness. Yeah, if you think about driving a car as an analogy to consciousness, consciousness feels like you are driving the car. That's what it feels like, right? But what if the car is actually self-driving and you're just observing the car, right? So if you think about a car as the human body, it has cameras, it has sensors, it interacts with the real world, it senses the real world, right? But it's all kind of mechanical. And then consciousness is like sitting inside that car or sitting inside that body. And you feel like you have a steering wheel. And you feel like you're seeing what the car is seeing, right? But the car is just a camera. It's just taking like signals from the outside. And you are kind of observing those signals. And that's the big question. Like, are you actually controlling the car, or is it a self-driving car and you're just a passenger? Flugfahren. Yeah, plane driving. Yeah, though. Yeah, but it's interesting because yeah, I guess it's true. Yeah, but I think you can also say in German, fahren. I think that's how we pronounce it. It's also just traveling. It's not as much driving. It's more like traveling. Because you can also use that word for. I think you can do it for working or going on holiday and stuff. But yeah. But actually, German is quite similar to, not similar, but it's closer to Norwegian than Australian, at least. I've examined both logs to find the key differences. Here are the different container images. Working. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is awesome. You're trying to use a remote image from GitHub registry that needs to be, whereas the working instance uses a pre-built local image. This is amazing. I'm just gonna drop out like this. This is what I am getting out now that there is no more network error, but they still do not work. So this is what it's getting now. There's no more network error, but they still do not work. Different container images. Working uses a pre-built local image. Not working uses remote image. Image working uses local image directly. Not working has pulled the image from the registry. Enable to find image. Container configuration not working. Contains significant additional metadata. Both logs show errors with Docker credentials, but the working one proceeds successfully despite this. May face issues with pulling due to authenticators errors with. There's a remote image from GitHub container registry that needs to be pulled, whereas the working instance uses a pre-built local image. Okay, so what should we do? I want to fix this so it actually works. And what we need to do is restart it. So I can hard code this so that we restart it once more. Or I can just generally do it twice. Maybe that's safer. Yeah, you know what? We're just gonna do that. We're gonna do a very simple, just restart twice, run the setup twice, and then that's gonna kind of be our temporary fix because we need to fix this now. And then belly splashing. uh, you have some amazing characters coming out of Australia, though. I remember as a very young kid watching Crocodile Dundee, which was amazing, and what do you say? God bless his soul. Stephen, no, what's his name? The crocodile hunter, Steven? No, Steve. He's amazing. uh, it's super sad that he oh, okay, we hibernate. Oh, wait a minute. We need new logs. Damn it. I used the hibernation here. Ah! Oh no, I didn't use hibernation, right? No, I removed the hibernation and then I just added it again because I removed the other stuff. Okay. Let's see. What are we doing here now? Now we're doing the... Okay. So what we're going to do is... We're going to do this twice, basically. We're going to restart, wait for the setup steps. But Steve Irwin, yeah, exactly. Serious sport? Belly splashing. Let's see. How are we gonna display this? I think we need to... Okay, so I think we're not gonna log the first run. So it's just gonna say restarting sandbox. And then for the second time, restart process. And the second time, show logs. We're gonna actually show the logs. So we're gonna move all of this stuff. What's this disposable store? I guess that should be in there. And then we're gonna do, oh, this is gonna be async. Oh, where are you? Wait, there we go, async. Restart process, or restart VM. So we're gonna do await restart VM, false, and then await restart VM, true. And yeah. So this is like super hacky. It can be in both. Okay. So let's build and then let's deploy again. Okay, I hope we have some people coming on. Okay, let's see now if it's running. Yeah, thanks for the moral support, Adam. Have a great dinner. Okay. Exciting, exciting. Let's see what's happening. Okay, let's see if these ones are actually working now. So if they're working now, this is going to be our fix for now, and then we can rather release later that... Oh, I don't think it's actually working. Oh, it's still not working. Wait, what's the difference for me restarting here? This is doing exactly the same, but if I restart here, it works. Why? I'm gonna check something. This sucks. Development CodeSandbox applications. We're gonna find the place where we're actually restarting. Why does it work from the UI? Where do we do that? Container feature. This is some old code. Restart. Stop picture environment. Yeah. So this is picture instance manager. Picture environment interface. Is it this one? Is this picture instance? Oh, where is it used? Go to references. Yeah, this is one. Shut down, stop picture environment. You're trying to resend on, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this is something else. So we're basically just, yeah. No, we're just stopping it. Yeah, but now it's working here. So what the hell is happening? So there has to be something about how we, let's see, let's look at the way we actually restart this thing. Sandboxes, restart. So we're just doing shutdown and then we start the VM again. This is very weird. It's just like the restart doesn't do anything. But it's very interesting how restart. Okay, but anyways, this didn't work, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to try something else. We're going to do sandboxes. Maybe it's the actual VM shutdown. And then we start it again. I have to ask my colleague. What was it? VM. Yeah, I see. I have a colleague jumping on now. Hopefully he sees it. Okay. So what are we going? So what I thought we could do is just. I was thinking about like just delaying the start. Maybe something goes wrong here. So we're gonna do return promise.resolve. This is gonna be in sandbox resolve. And then basically what we're gonna do is have a set timeout. We're gonna wait 5 seconds and then let's make this async. And then we're gonna resolve it. Where are you complaining? Oh, sorry. No, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, sorry. New promise. There we go. Oh, 5 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna do that instead. And see if that changes anything. Because when I'm restarting from here, it's not working. But if I'm restarting from the editor, it works. And that is very, very weird. So we're going to try, oops, I wasn't supposed to show you that. No matter. So we're going to check this one and then, oh, no, it didn't work. Run terminal. There's no button here. Okay, so that's not the reason either. But what we're going to do now, we're going to start. We're going to start the VM, but then we're going to stop the build. We're not going to restart here. So we're just going to return here, sandbox.id. Yeah, whatever. And then we're going to manually restart it and then see if that works. Cool. So let's open this now, and then this is gonna have the files. But it doesn't have button. But when I restart this sandbox, I'm gonna reload. And then I'm gonna report. Another observation I have is that if I do not restart during build, but rather go manually to the sandbox on CodeSandbox.io and restart it there, it works. Which makes me think the VM shutdown in the public API does something different. Okay, yeah, and this worked, right? So this is really, really weird. So here we have been, yeah, okay, but that's interesting. So we're gonna take a quick look at, oh, we're gonna take a quick look at use Picture Manager through API. And that's true. Yeah, that's what we're doing. But we can't really fix that. But one thing we can try though is okay, so we proved that. And I'm really just collecting as much information. What the hell? As much information as I can. Because I don't think I can actually fix the root cause here. Let's see. So, but what we can try to do is, I just want to find a fix here. So we restart. What I want to try to do is, when restarting, I want to do session setup.run. And then await session setup, wait until complete, and then we're going to restart. I wonder if that changes anything. Well, I don't think that worked. Like, it's restarting way too fast. It's like it's almost like it doesn't find it or something. Or it reports that it's still running. Like, could it be that, oh, wait, I think I know what is going on. I think the VM is being reported as not running or something. So the API does not send an actual restart to the VM, which is why it restarts so insanely fast, but there are no changes. It actually does not restart. Could you help me debug that? That would make a lot of sense. It doesn't actually restart. Yeah, there's something wrong with the restart. Which is why it seemingly. Oh, how do you write that? Seems to restart. So it actually does not restart. Okay, that's very interesting. I don't think it restarts. And why doesn't it restart? Could that be because this doesn't help? That's for sure. So what if we, which I guess why it doesn't help to like hibernate it or anything either. Is there something we could do? Well, first of all, I want to see if I can find out what the actual response is on that restart. So this shutdown, so that will be VM shutdown, console log VM shutdown response. Okay, let's just check that out. I think maybe I have a session at 10:30. Yeah. Wait, what happened? I wonder if we're getting different responses here. Oh, can we see the response? Data, success true. Yeah, it looks like we're just getting success true. Okay. But then why is it running the setup? But that also, it does super fast. So it's almost like, is it actually restarting? That's the thing I'm wondering about. Is it actually restarting? But it didn't matter here, right? Because I restarted it twice and that didn't help. And then people have too much to do. So why does it work when you restart from the actual editor? Is it because it's... I did try here, right, to wait for setup, but setup is done here. That's the whole point. Like, it should work. When we stopped here and went to the editor and restarted, it worked. But it doesn't work when we call restart here. I can't do much here until I get some help. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna run a session to debug some stuff here, so I'm gonna jump off. And then, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm back today. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully on Monday everything is fixed here, and I can tell you what the problem was. Cool. I guess that's it. Bye for now.